The coronavirus pandemic brought about pandemonium on Wednesday night that figures to be bad news for U.S. stock markets on Thursday.
In the aftermath of a dizzying single hour that included President Donald Trump announcing a European travel ban for 30 days during a nationally televised address from the Oval Office and the NBA suspending its season after a Utah Jazz player tested positive for coronavirus, Dow futures dropped more than 1,000 points, a worrying sign that U.S. stocks could further slip after the longest-running bull market came to an abrupt end on Wednesday.
The Twitter announcement by beloved actor Tom Hanks that he and his wife, Rita Wilson, tested positive for coronavirus while in Australia added to Wednesday night's flurry of unnerving news, as did the first reported positive case on Capitol Hill, a staffer for Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell of Washington state.
Get daily coronavirus updates in your inbox. Sign up for the daily briefing.
All that came after the World Health Organization declared coronavirus as a pandemic to start the day amid a rising number of deaths and confirmed cases around the world. The U.S. death toll was at 38 early Thursday, with more than 1,310 confirmed cases, and all but 6 states were infected after Arkansas, Mississippi and Wyoming were among the states to report their first encounters.
The only states without reported cases, according to USA Today data gathering, Alabama, Alaska, Idaho, Maine and West Virginia.
Here's the latest on the outbreak of COVID-19.
On Tuesday, President Donald Trump attempted to downplay the spread of coronavirus in the U.S. "It will go away," he said. "Just stay calm."
He struck a different tone on Wednesday night in a primetime address, restricting passenger travel from 26 European nationals to the U.S. beginning late Friday and urging Americans to wash their hands and practice good hygiene.
"We are all in this together," Trump said.
The president's response plan also included, among other things,
paid sick leave. Trump said he plans to take emergency action soon to provide financial relief to workers who are quarantined or caring for others due to coronavirus. He added he would be asking Congress to take legislative action to extend the relief.
Small business loans. Trump said he is instructing the Small Business Administration to provide capital and loans to businesses affected by coronavirus, effective immediately. He added he's asking Congress to increase funding for this program by an additional $50 billion to help those businesses hardest hit by economic uncertainty over the virus.
Payroll taxes. He called on Congress to provide Americans with immediate payroll tax relief, and implored lawmakers to consider this very strongly, despite bipartisan pushback that idea received Wednesday.
Courtney Subramanian and John Fritz.
The Dow Jones Industrial Average hadn't been in bear territory for 11 years, until Wednesday.
With the ongoing coronavirus outbreak as a backdrop, the Dow suffered its largest decline since the financial crisis of 2007-08, falling 1,465 points to close at 23,553.22. The Standard & Poor's 500 index also plunged again Wednesday but narrowly avoiding its first bear market since the financial crisis.
"This is the swiftest fall from grace that I've ever seen," says Megan Hornman, Director of Portfolio Strategy at Maryland-based Verdance Capital Advisors. "We would have never forecast it would be the coronavirus that could take this market down."
The average decline in bears since 1929 is roughly 40%, according to S&P Dow Jones Indices.
Adam Schell and Josh Rivera.
The NBA announced Wednesday night it is suspending its season after a Utah Jazz player tested positive for coronavirus.
The league said it is halting operations following the conclusion of tonight's schedule of games until further notice. The NBA will use this hiatus to determine next steps for moving forward in regard to the coronavirus pandemic.
While the league did not name the Jazz player in its news release, a person familiar with the situation confirmed it was Utah center Rudy Gobert. The person requested anonymity because he was not authorized to speak publicly because of the sensitive nature of the situation.
Jeff Zilgott.
March Madness will go on, but without fans.
The NCAA announced Wednesday that its popular men's and women's basketball tournaments will be played without spectators in an attempt to prevent further spread of the coronavirus.
NCAA President Mark Emmert said in a statement he made the decision after consulting with public health officials and an advisory panel. Only essential staff and some family members will be allowed at the games.
While I understand how disappointing this is for all fans of our sports, my decision is based on the current understanding of how COVID-19 is progressing in the United States, Emmert said.
The tournaments begin next week and conclude with the championship games, April 5 for the women and April 6 for the men.
Jorge L. Ortiz.
The U.S. Department of State raised its health travel warning to Level 3 late Wednesday, saying that U.S. citizens should reconsider travel abroad due to the global impact of COVID-19.
Even countries, jurisdictions, or areas where cases have not been reported may restrict travel without notice, the State Department warned.
Also Wednesday, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention advised U.S. citizens to avoid travel to much of Europe, where the coronavirus has become more widespread than anywhere but China.
Curtis Tate.
They're getting pummeled, travel industry reeling from coronavirus concerns.
Oregon Gov. K. Brown announced a series of urgent rules on Wednesday night to combat the spread of coronavirus, including a statewide ban on large gatherings of over 250 people, effective immediately for 4 weeks.
The governor's measures also include distancing measures at events, activities and in the workplace, as well as the cancellation of non-essential school-associated events such as competitions, field trips and group parent meetings.
Nobody is immune to this virus, it can touch everyone, Brown said in a news release. We can't let fear and anxiety stigmatize people. It's time for us all to do what we can to slow its spread and take care of one another.
Earlier Wednesday, Washington Gov. Jay Inslee announced a similar ban on gatherings and events across 3 counties in the Seattle metropolitan area, where the virus has killed more than 20 people.
San Francisco will also forbid large events, but with a cutoff of 1,000 people, Supervisor Matt Haney tweeted. Public schools in San Francisco remain open, but some private ones have closed.
Jorge Ortiz and Lindsay Schnell.
Not on the menu for many these days, dining out.
As our fears of catching the coronavirus grow by the day, so has our hesitation to venture out of the house, with 1/3 of Americans saying they plan to stick closer to home and dine at restaurants less frequently, according to restaurant industry research group Technomic.
If you decide to go out, public health experts say you'll be safe as long as you take precautions such as frequently cleaning your hands with soap or hand sanitizer and staying at least 3 feet away from anyone who is coughing or sneezing.
Jessica Gein and Kelly Tycho.
Here's a look at which U.S. states have reported cases of COVID-19.
The global death toll jumped to 4,641 early Thursday, according to a Johns Hopkins University data dashboard, pushed especially by rising fatalities in Italy 827 and Iran 354. The total of confirmed cases was over 126,430, with more than 80,900 in mainland China, where the virus has killed more than 3,100 people. But, on Wednesday, the director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention director told a congressional committee that Europe had emerged now as the new epicenter. And there's a lot of people coming back and forth from Europe that are now starting to see these communities, Robert Redfield said. The virus causes only mild or moderate symptoms for most people, such as fever and cough, but can progress to serious illness including pneumonia, especially in older adults and people with existing health problems. The WHO says mild cases last about 2 weeks, while most patients with serious illness recover in about 3 to 6 weeks. Contributing, Steve Kiggins, USA Today, The Associated Press. U.S. coronavirus map, tracking the outbreak. Is it safe to ride? Coronavirus fears are challenging public transit across U.S. Cruise ships will bring 100,000 people to U.S. ports this week. Amid coronavirus, will they be welcome? Plenty of labs can now test for coronavirus, but a key testing component is in short supply.